disabled and you. Obia Obawasini, but a gaga. Yamisi and Kano Cre, Panchre, Ghana penny for senior high schools. We are now disabled and you. Obia Obawa senior high school be a mesro. Sakwalano Frau Catcher will say, Nebianiasa, and funny say, Aqualani de Bianino bought a wibra. And funny, sir, because we and Palani Biani Omudi, Mumbi San Quadani say, when was the last time Omudi Kosia? Kosia, it was school.
But let me say,
Gaga,
balanced diet,
Gaga,
nutrition.
Miss Anqualani said, when was the last time Omudi Rainam, it was school?
Yeah, Caba.
If you are the man Quadan, and ask some kitwa. Hey, and you may be a while. Politicians, no, I am Munshia Bibica claim free home. Her system be a bibinin iron. When a problem woman. System a bibinin aye, Ediaba. A bibini bear agents obey the home. And the buffer say, Nanka ya de papa. Semfun swaba buffalo, and a nipper Edisika, the Ako buffer. Wa branca or the SL Momo, no man first cananya, send me pan me, or be a Nukojana Copam support. So be a Digana sky, so on fan 12 and man quadra school quadra, and the dear. Monfa send me panon coco. Court the case will differ, young fanning me support many problem with that. But say you see a G is a free buffer for them, and they are called headmasters. Why not check headmasters? They bezes, they say, see, come on, the mom so munko jumuno. Or munko did 100,000 and pound pass over to 100,000. What Brian, you know, Memu Hane started free SHS. A metron sleep in the bezes, sleep your Biania, the Abramono, or more packing and look at Coffee, or be a Tibia James Ameboa. Or more packing and look at Coffee. Now, any partner who walk to a baron or Chiacofi. Now, how this is caution in some say on one concoto. On one concoto. Look, at Biania, your money duo, school, secondary school, dear Charlie, Edding Gaga, and Yasama Dafo. Eddie, a minister. Some papa na me no ya na you know politicians no moka somebody am mention them from serious papa ne say mutimi kasa de say dem no budget ya o kan yi oh any o tie kire
budget na medical ma prelims ne kakra no ma bobo so kakra dia mamu
with all the mathematics US. And now can't say, yeah, it's Trabuchi. Sebi, the passport we hear now improve about 48 Marcos. US. With all the mathematics, US. And now can't say, yeah, it's Trabuchi. Sebi, the passport we hear now improve about 48 Marcos. US, UK, Holland, Germany, Norway, Switzerland, South Africa. I'm investigating for almost 30 years in back Ghana. Investigating into the poultry industry, all because of the vision and the prophecy. You are telling me, sir, you're saying 186. It's not possible. So that tells you, sir, Angel. Yeah, it is. There are two things. Either, sir, or more undercutting in a way, and now say they're not bringing us the right quality. I know my car won't see a sale be but we should be saving lives.
Of course.
I don't see the reason why we have quality chicken. The president of the republic, the first gentleman of the land, inspecting himself or share in seven. Quality clean. Waribi. And I'm so grilly. Convoy, they come for you. We are so happy. Remember. Mami be a ye. Say o swami. Mami Monica be. Ye grille almost Saturday and Sunday. Ali ube ye nasia. But can be here.
Menshia him yes nam koji
yes.
What left and right.
Mama ye the other TNT no your home. As Krofua Ekopesu Jumaye. If the governments give us the chance and give us the capital to run the industry very well, we can employ 1 million people. I'm serious. I'm speaking on authority with all the mathematics straight in my books. And remember, President Mahama Ekasano or Prime Minister or minister, tell the education minister straight. what does the same far way and school feeding program name. Now, because school feeding program, no, ABI local productions are very expensive. Yes, it should be expensive because that is the state of our land. You need to be your fosabuchi. But this is where we find ourselves. When we are bettering the economy, see a economy here. Let's see you produce Ghana. Let's see a win Ghana. Let's say, when production and consumption is gotten locally, that is where we are bettering the GDP, of course, helping the economy. Angel. Sound kita hudia yedio. And you see yedia my young one, yedia ma poultry farmers in Ghana. Na answer ne beko yenim no. Okay. This is a weight. This is a 2 kilo weight. This is a 2.1. Okay. Here we have what? 1.9. Okay. So this is a family of 6. Okay. And the president, this is organic. Yeah. And it's halal for Muslims. Yeah. So therefore, even if you have a big family, the meat is so good that there is no steroids, no antibiotics, no growth promoters, original. Yeah. Okay. So the market is possible. So that's to tell them to not bring home chicken. We can produce that for the companies. Okay.
So what we do is first ban importation of whole chicken.
Whole chicken.
If they should bring pieces.
The parts. For that one, we don't have the machines as such. But then we are trying to get the machine. Exactly. Okay. Now we have a big it's not going for Boris B alone. Yeah. It's going for farmers.
Yes.
Minister. Agriculture. My boss.
The suggestion is making is we should begin by banning the importation of whole chicken. Because all the processors are producing whole chicken. Yes. So that's where the competition is coming from. So those who import must bring that's chicken parts. So that then those who are processing locally can get the whole chicken market. Yes. And this one, we need to speak to the minister.
Elizabeth.
No, education. So that those who are processing can supply the secondary schools directly with local chicken. And then, out of the school feeding, get fund will pay them. They will submit their invoices and get fund.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Mr. President, we are trying to produce feed also for the poultry farms in different regions, which we've been aware. So now we have a bill, like I said before, which of course we need to speak.
Is that old bill?
No, not that one. This is
not the one under litigation.
No, it's not under litigation. That one, the litigation, they will leave it to you. That one there.
This one is 65.
The 66 point.
Okay. Okay.
But we come out with it should come from there.
Okay.
Vote against this.
He's reading his budget, so when he finishes, he will see what position he can make.
President, I want to stand on behalf of the minister.
Minister. Agriculture.
My boss.
The suggestion is making is we should begin by banning the importation of whole chicken. Because all the processors are producing whole chicken. So that's where the competition is coming.
But, Gaga.
Erita.
Nyame say enka no kre pa chire Ghana benefo. Senior high schools. Biane ankwala ndi sabre na nyewu.
Enyo.
Enye. Obia obawo senior high school bia mesrew. Sa akwala no frew ka kire wo say na biane asa emfa ne say akwala ne de biane no bo ahohibra. Emfa ne sa because hwe enkwala ne biane omudi no mummisa ankwala ne say when was the last time omudi kosia e was school mo
but na minim say ya hihye ya
na
yes
gaga
balanced diet
gaga
nutrition
Mr. Ankwala say when was the last time omudi di we nam e was school mo
e ka ba
aduane aye de man kwala no enya sam kitwa wo hwe enema bi wo ho aho politicians no aya mo nsua bibi kakra mfiri ho hwe system bi a bibini na aye no wo benya problem wo ho system a bibini na aye e de aba bibini be na dwen se obedi di ho enti bafa yi sei na nka ya de papa semfun so aba bafa no ho ana nipa bi e di sika e de akobafa wa branka de ese ye mo ye no man first na anya sa nipa me obi ade no ko gina ko pam support so obi adi Ghana sky so on fan to aduane man kwada school kwada edidi a mo fa sa nipa no kokko court ka so odi fo a ye mfa ntum me support me ni problem with that but say you see age aduane na free bafa fo nsem e de akoma headmasters why na check headmasters ne business ne say sika no ayede ma omo so omo nkodwom no omo nkodi dwa 100,000 pampa so mato 100,000 wa bra ye nyina ye wo mamu ha na start free SHS a metrons ni bi ni be
yo we shall for a chill bia wa basu bia e chill ahai enkoto 101 enkoto 101 YouTube Facebook here enkoto to aba hasia ye chill pa ne ye dia show mu de del enti ya pa ye do bibia se ye hwe omo basu no na ye nka ne acknowledge mo basu no esanse se mumuni hasia yensu yeni ho enti ye da bibia se minim na me sure say eyede ya Roberta Tema Zigma Ambitious or say TN a lot of others Nicholas Nipa Bibriabeguso Eric Dari anyone mo kan ho bia ya chiamo Collins or say I agree I take answer Justina Ellison Suleimana Aziz, Yunisna Kole, Elizabeth Foggio, Rebecca, Tete, Happy Beve, Danso. Echi obi bia wabaso a wo hwe me. Asen when I be sign necessary ne bebobo. Mo a mo beba echi no soso bia ne nya time ne abobo mudin. Inti mo amaba no Jerry Asante Shaibu, yeda mo nyina mo ase. Se mo aba ama yebedi nkomo. Yate se nyoma pi ekoso me say mo aya mo kan afenyoma kensasem e ma mo nka nkyeme minuanom yeni abre ye adwuma intini minuanom mesre mo a yeni abre ye adwuma no ye mpe krokro de jon asembia eni se wo afenyoma kensasem a no akoka obi o ha oyare ohon we oyare Phlococosus no yare and na say or suffer from schizophrenia enti no obi yare sana mema mo ha no onipa or draw attention no to himself no mema mo ha mo what you say but unim o my say even if there's nothing to complain of they will still have something to talk about enti sample for near higher and it's na me share that boss happy self boy na oye didi no omekoswa yedidi emfa ye ho mo ye saadi wia ekofifa akatia mokosesa lilliputs nyina de ba be campaign in the history of the world me who politics ye di lilliputs na ye yakosesa mo tia wabu achacha ni nyina angosi aga emfa amfa na emfa ene emfa wochina na emfa da se mo ntimi anko rebranding want to say the arrangement akwa rebranding no aba as UP no emfa this time and I am telling you say the way am wan kasa munipa Boris B obi otigana obi anim say Boris B oye NPP ni na so senka Mahama begin to say Ekufuado say NDC for ni begin to say NPP for no anko mo be kase yenkope yenipa bi na yenhye da nko bie poultry farm na omeda enkoko nkitenkite no no anye adwuma no onye da onye amanisa wochi ase amanisa NDC for ni John Mahama who say whether say NDC need to NPP need to abama omo say NDC need to abama omo say yi NPP ni NDC ni to nchen ye Ghana for first and sana oya Asantini oye NPP ni woye hwan ni no aba. Without Ghana no, political party bi any ho, ethnic groups bi anso ye dey any ho. Onti ase a ne ne wasesa wo ne ma no watu no akotena ba bi foforo. But enam say NDC on say eno na ya na ebi mu nti ase a ya omo say oh ena NDC for no dey na omo pese omo ye say omo de omo dwin Ghana. Yes, wan dwin Ghana ho a. Na oye na adwen say Boris B eye NPP ni nti no. Enkoko nkete aba. Ono na waye farming no a owo experience wo mu. Osia mfa nkoma NDC ni a oni experience. Na one Bosia na ye kwaji no international market no. Near the abese in the hands of incompetent, inexperienced NDC for na enkoko nketen adiagu na wasa beka se enkoko anase nkonfirmo tutu there bi ye the best competent hands because Boris B workers no ono Boris B nimpo onim ne oye NPP ni no onim ne oye NDC ni. And the reason Mahama who said Boris B so ye NPP ni kra na oye NPP ni ana adwen ye adwuma a ono odwen oman ho ye yeti akwantu mu but Boris B betna approach no be 30 years ago eno nya adayeso se obekwa akwa ye bibi di aboa ne man o defy all odds who say to invest in economy like Ghana no enye easy one hwe a obre a obebre nyina no na awura nsuo na ekọ but onyagidie enya resimu enya ahotoso se obeye one year for the past 30 years enisene na enkwan na iba beye de a ye mani san ebinom a eye enye onu nko Boris B is just representing local poultry producers no ye wo akate wo ho ye wo dako farms wo ho ye wo unity farms wo ho and host of others. And omo capacity in Boris B almost war because ye dare adwuma Boris B nkwa Boris B farm alone cannot feed just Kumasi Ashanti regional Kumasi daily chicken intake no Boris B nkwa ntimi intake his responsibility no na senior Boris B na akan in so many platforms so say or no onye sikani ana onye entrepreneur ono yese opia ne ma eco different sector na ono no there be or say ono de oba ne fi a emo ansem nko ana oye no ho enti ne baba ko veterinary doctor ne baba ko business in one into agro we see or say ba ko pe no aye stubborn say o pese okoye law na enumpo no okoye law e dia ba be protect emo asem. And this idea no say yesika for never Ghana wo nyina ne fa bi say field na wo no wo be training wo ma no na omo major sa field no ne baba ko so kwa koye agric engineering and no na China for na practice ya ene ye fa nyoma cheap from China no Asians no be a friend so corporation unso kwa register business you a partnership, so proprietorship. But Asians na akriti omo aba kwa a friend of so corporation. Inti a corporation, but a belong to a family. And nunti and washa Samsung president no. And I say like me see you no. Omo make sure say always almost all the time no. O belong to the Samsung family. And you busuane dia. And your Bushian legacy. Enti keep a yibi and your mutia and almost no training or mama say almost may take it up from whenever or no papa no obey day or be grow old no and a Boris B ye. Nasa ye buano nani dreams no or succeed one or my Ghana na succeed because Boris B farms is succeed under Enko Ketia. And on one account was what the president acting komopi. Now it will surprise you, say Boris B now ye NPP, you know. A kufu do bet na akonyaso. Obin kofa video excess Boris B farms a kufu do go head yekoso. Yeah, you see, me I don't talk about idea enye to people. I don't talk to people about idea any. Before I hear better ha near preaching John Dramani Mahama in the NDC no. Edia ma Ghana for no. Na ye nim ni emfaso betumi ede aba. Enti na manfo ti wa omo ye dede na enkokon kitinkiti na afahin na de no masa. What did the minister Eric Opoku kan no? Wa exhibit say time or ti opposition na or ye dede or parliament no. Na ye dede hu o. Na nani je agree ne ho. Or ye passionate say or the agree be revolutionize Ghana economy no. Enti or say omodi nkokɔ ne bae no ehɔ na mehu say Eric Opoku no the guy no onimia oye because agree the offer wa no wetia me na so because ehɔ and from DSS minya interest room from SSS minya interest room university mi senya interest room te no na ma ya create kran into whereby ya Eric Opoku car say young kofa day old chicks emfa meche magana for a son say day old chicks no omo ye susceptible omo ye prone to some diseases inti obia onye experience no o de nkokoma 50 ni koma no a one day the next day no nkokoma ni be wu na Ghana sika only me taxes no ase hwie gu anwemu na ekọ inti abra Eric Opoku car say ye di enkokɔ ne be man Ghana for no de aye nkokɔ nkitinkiti nemum no e wo se ye hwe omo up to a month and 2 weeks that time na nkokɔ na nyini a omo pass through all the critical stage in their vaccination processes no inti all the serious medications ni na no expect no aye wi ansa na ye de nkokɔ ne ebema amanfo inti no mi tie Eric Opoku na say no akwani ni nyansa inti at that age no nkokɔ ebetimi ewu out of 50 no we are not expecting say a bebo de akosro kra bro kra no wo de 10 pe emu free no you still have massive number ubetimi e de aye de opese ode ye no osaka say omodi confirm eyeye na omo nim Ghana fu suban any sako ya be born video a ono nko ani journalist a o te Ghana ho a o sin nkosua short we senior high schools no all can so no wa fa video evidence ama hwe na ekufu ado ho no say ye ka se aduane a SHS for no edi no enye a near the videos pa but once one fa video ama they always want to sway the minds of the feeble ones amongst us no. But I am telling journalists Bia or what Ghana said, Mimianum, the paradigm has shifted. And the old way, the old system of doing things no, EMFA is not going to yield to Mosabo whims and caprices no. So you guys have to now devise a more sophisticated ways of deceiving the people. Either than that, you will crash prematurely in your Atasa Jandamic politics, no? Emfa and mempai body ma akukon kitinkiti project no say a be revolutionize Ghana na poultry importation a running hundreds of millions of dollars no and so betty not the pressure on the dollar and as a city no akọ from any dollar no akọ from na yetinya maintaining solid exchange rate. Now you solid exchange rate say from 2024 year to aba Mahama starting the Juma 2025 ekwa go do 2028 Mahama no the wire na adwen say onko bio no ono de say agro ne woni Mahama de agro ne woni ni so me see ye bet tap na adwen nyina. Do you know why I say that? Because yenya leader obetimi revolutionize Ghana to say the mepero. But the no, he is mimicking that good leader now mepero. I didn't know what see Jan near kofa Atasa baumia, ye kofa Atasa, Kennedy Japan. And even within the NDC, no, Obianiwa or standing up to Mahama, even in his twilight. I'm telling you, I don't fear Hute. I am political commentator who doesn't fear Sakate Dondon. Even within the NDC, amongst them, with our party, no, name one particular individual who is in the party who can match up to the pedigree of John Dramani Mahama. And me say 2027, Miami Nyan Kumasi for Achim for Minko Kababi Amoto Abama NDC, Omo Mujina NPP, Dindinde, Ashanti, and Isino. Me say Omo Kasa, and the Beba Bekasi Yama Mahama, Twaso. After sa Twaso na, or can 2016 no. After no be juma. Because Ghana brew na say and confront to be express highway ya at to forcing Ekotna Channel 1 or ne Bernard Avle 18 komo or say almost the 3 years solid years or more take the travel distance, the travel hours a Ghana from Kumasi to Accra no you reducing by 50 to 60 kilometers. And the journey time, you're cutting by 50%. So if now you're 6 hours, 5 hours, and then from Kumasi to Accra, you're 2.5 hours. And this expressway, is going to be an economic dream changer. Yempewe. Into all Mahama would do Sakika and go con kitty. Na economy na ye, why a express highway within 3 years, why a Sakwana my ye big other roads, what catches why a Ghana construction site. Now in future, no Java Kohana Obeshan Wakata Sound future Nusudiamaye. Ain't more Muti at my one being some Mahama opposition 2 years, you must say, young Kotua Bambi, you saw your president. No. Adiet na Ghana for ye that sorry say ye constitution. Yes, so Mahama over Sanko Biwa or no Mahama didn't obey. Ghana constitution ye tro ye say okay ya tro ye can yes ye one didn't obey. I go visit go to Superman so nye manso but the me person me say oni pe ya de pa that was ye born abaso. And Mahama at the say or catches or cut next in so was sensual nyoma. And indeed, the life are all but this time, which they say was suya nyoma. But you know MPP for Atasa for ye. And Kamo cut na opposition no. And Kawa fellow markings are would dig 131.911 seats. Na wo etimi I reduce seat number 87 no. Dia wo ya ulusu about half of Musita na more parliament no. O da so yes I dey we ya enti wo mu se wadi ni. Na amount for sorry na more tag me afenyo markings videos. Say me mfa nye day. I don't discuss a Jimmy fool. that time I near can't a few markings as that time any young cat or more some one real no be a sebi na dream reno wa kodi and some ginger yakotuaba. Into that is why at that time no yet assembly and ya very reacted to because ne kotuaba na about two no appear to be busy on any stupid thing or the atuaba. But this time no ye can't enyansa sem wasem. Into a branch or peace FM, also one cassa eka asem no say enkofo moti enkoda mo SHS nya kusuani or no one cassa trim no or no asi na Ghana for pro medi matemo eye den am kokasa. One member of parliament or your friend say or what frahane tantra the friend say is it tantra hill and is it trobus one oh sa woman MP no NPP no say or no ye importer na COVID levy ni one ye na obi aba be ready 2026 budget already we na no o see ni taxes ni free na budget na akwa ni ko ready impo no parliament debate budget ni po omo accept budget no ye dey budget ni ntumo o see enya dwuma just say NPP vo we ankasa no chale menua sinyame wadom na wo nsaka akokon ketenkete na minsrew ma u focus no emfa nkoso na okodi sa atasa journalist and I say MPs no multi parliament hono no a otewa na obi akwaje nkoko 50 ade beche no ye hu se o ye productive a ye be man 100 ye be man 200 ye be man 400 na afi no obetin na nipa na na hyase no na okura 2000 beds na wo odasu gina ho follow Atasa members of parliament eduru bejewa atrema we are here me say adi biara ye beye ama John Dramani Mahama ebe succeed on the second term no and no na preoccupation because Mahama failure NDC a failure and Ghana in totality and a fail. Se Mahama winia. Sa stupid casualty na a course stampede a course or elwak no. Ibi nkoso. Hwede Boris B kind osiminia enye mobo. Osim President John Mahama eni ni sia ya omu di nkomo okokwa no. Asema Mahama ka chen se na nie wu se adwuma ni o man na akoreko pe adwuma na nipa wu enu ntina Mahama ti issue na no o sorry free baby he is a president on even na Akufo Addo kra no Atasa president kra no he busy Mahama he busy to the extent say na yiri kra onya time no but o ti say mo fra no asema to wo na no na wo so judge o ye obia no na okọ hospital ho ekohwe enya the first hand experience no information because yen guase de man any serious leader say obeti say akoda kra ne maame wo fie say okwa akopɛ adwuma ye the next moment obeti say oba phone airing you know one till oba voice you be shocked say na why na afa me ba phone no hello maame oba asumesi wo se no akoma asase e bo ade ai oba no yagina to 37 till be yabra onam kwan so kosa ne asafro say oba no waje wawu ninia wahwe oba saa ebia na oba ba kopɛ na adwuma eni kuro ni munti hwede akoto enua no ya omko wi o mango ka so omko ye hu kapso okopɛ adwuma na okopɛ adwuma no wakowu atofuwo 2 year president ebeye wakoma ja Boris B na kan was the president Mahama kan no say yenim guase any sometimes minia if we don't try to do the first things first we will move to 3 and later days in our life we will still have to come back to number 1 Some kind of government and as a system of administration, a good for the year, ye jampo adie. Now, you say, this man, this particular man, former education minister, everything. Ni bro fu bi obeka we should leapfrog. Leapfrogging what? But don't you know that the moment you leapfrog, you jump a space, and every space and any space has got a certain process and procedure and system you will still have to come back later days in that same system. So why don't you take your time, be patient, be careful, be diligent enough? What stops you from being that fastidious in your activity? Pay critical attention to details. That is what we call punctilious. Pay attention to details. If you leapfrog, you are leapfrogging some critical details. In this life, yenka se ena akra no wanko school ntem wanyini or 10 years ntino ono a unsua abcd no osiamfa ne nko unsua alphabet no osi wanyini ni tipenso for class 4 ntino straight up na yemfa ne nko class 4 o didn't make class 4 but this was actually class 1 for me or class 4 ho sana kufu adodi a government ni beyeye what ye also or digitalization on tiase opeda ye boom no de ko afi be reach na was a bet be all the analog stuff because the people who are selling digital material or digital stuff to you they did not jump straight away from nowhere to get into the digital space. They had to move from the analog stage, because what are you going to input into your computer? You need a hard copy of registered names. You type the names, and then you can move all the analog information onto the digital system. Without the analog, although we claim that we are in the digitized economy, which is true, but you cannot jump the analog. You still have to go through the analog process before you can digitize anything you so want to digitize. Tientra ho. Tientra ho. Minia o maame ewo ni fie na wo be 12,000 cedis. Obetumi akwa akoto these kgs ya abaya koto bi na kwaje nkokọ no. Register. Mahama ekasa no. Wankase NDC for nkoda na nko register. Osi Ghana for mofra. Boris B kasa no. Osi enye NPP asem, enye NDC asem, enye PPP asem, enye the youth of Ghana asem. Minianom, we cannot become America without first of all going through all the process the Americans went through before getting to where they are now. We cannot jump any process and straight away get to where America is now. And even if that happens, we will not better understand our own development. In as much as we want to develop, there should be a strong history behind our development, so that later days to come, what will be the history that some of us will tell to our kids? The history shouldn't be all time favorable. The history should sometime be crooked, be bitter, but we still have to tell that story. We still have to write down that history. And if you care to know what we're doing today is part of that history we want to tell our future generation. When you are near the four, oh yes, can nase obetini are investing into chicken coop, and I say like a modernized cages for a friend say farmers now. Invest your money into all those kind of stuff, no? Because a chain, the market demand, no, a chain of employment be a never cost. One will say, Papa be, and so your friend A2, or so a team go on kitten or whisker wabrochi, no, cocache minister, say, honest one knowledge, I will feed formulation, feed production. Now, what is a program we will cost? Or the second in India and Beba. Intimum and a Rukupoku abwa A2, ama A24, and so I feed no, distribute at the ama farmers no. And I say all those who will go into the Nkoko Kitten program no. Now, and pen pino de bia me can we say. Obi to the United Kingdom, obi to Korea, obi to Japan, and talk Coke 1 liter. For example, obi to UK, no auto Coke 1 liter be a base $2.50 or £3. Now the same 1 liter bottle no, of Coke, I will Ghana not yet tono 25 cedis. The big question I may be saying, se nipa no edi ebe Coke no UK, no wa ton no enya £3 more than 25 cedis. Then there was a woody or machines no travel far distance go Ghana. Ekoye now the 25 cedis. And then a Boris B. Catcher will say, Auto akoko less than £2. I'm sorry, $2. Ewo Ghana. You have to understand, say, bia ya kati bibi o baby diama anase they are not selling to the Ghanaian markets, no. On the Ghanaian markets, no. Amount no they holding no. To quality no eso. And the probability that a quality ni no compromise no. 1.9, a bro even 1, almost 200%. The probability is to quality ni so no. Enunti any enyarewa hodwa koso yekrumo hono. We don't train our citizens who settle for frivolous and mediocre stuff. Train up your citizens to have belief in whatever their fellow citizens produce in their country, irrespective of the charge. And Boris B say, "Any some produce mo dey na ne bo be yedin." Yes, ne bo be yedin. But ne bo ne yedin no so e create employment e wo kro ni mo. Ne bo din. But the money you are spending, it is not leaving the Ghanaian economy, but rather the money is circulating. Don't you wish, don't you love, don't you want to see your money circulating rather than leaving the economy? And whenever money leaves the economy, you put stress on the economy. And that is the reason here. Ubon say, yes, dollar cost because sika free economy no akokra and kuko force and kuko wewu send her Mahama kind say you bruni wewu dia you should have and kuko wewu. We know where aban Say, oh, you invest your resources now into agriculture. I tell you, and one important thing, Mr. Erikopoku, if we really want to do it, as the Methodists will say, if it must be done, then it must be done well. Please, in as much as we want to empower the youth, we want to empower the citizens to at least get something that they can lay their hands on to also raise some kind of income. We should do it with that kind of tact, skill. Say, send ya woko obroni man so a enye obi bia ne ma ne kwan ma ne ye farming no. The time should happen now. Say, we should deprive a lot of people from going into farming. Farming should be given to experts, and the expert will employ people who will work the farms. Not just allowing. And ye poisonous. Say, Obia fani sika no nyesika, or say or kwa kodobanchi. No akoto fertilizer bia no de aguso. Enti busawo. Food and Drugs Authority or more Ghana honono. Almost me visited almost all the farms. Ghana standards. Almost visited almost all the farms. Eko say banchi no a farmer ni producing the quantity of lead, arsenic, and other heavy metals farm producing omutimi ascertain we nyina tebi because obia wo ne krase or fight hono a no akwa akoye fu. So if doctors yema omo license no ma operate here, it is about time we need to give our farmers license so that we will have a healthy community. Aya, yesi galamsey no ebe koswa akoswa say yensas no. The only knowledge no asasi bia aye contaminated na odi no bae dey akwa akogu and no bae nso no omo ye intelligent to the extent say obebo all right, but sa trace metals na trace elements bia ewo asase ni mu no ebi be ko bank ni mu afi ubedi na odi ko hospital. Say yes, a person build a strong community and strong society. We should not allow anybody at all to produce food for the country. And what say ya expert na nya asemo esikafo omutiku no edum sika ko China ko kran nyoma. Meanwhile no esikafo na wo se nkomo do omusika yefu. Nanka esikani ba ko ye tony board from wo go so a na eye be 300-500 acres of land and your do board ya wo subsistent farmer no okodo board ya price now we ko tu no on the market no obi ento inti bebu abem, so that you even prefer to go and work for sa osikani no on a plantation ni mo na otua oka na sikani no afa wo no aba beye a formalized kind of farming, so we will get all the workers working on that particular farm no omudi into the system na afi no yenya proper taxing system or tax regimes near the amount of follow, because aban no onya sika bi enfi be bia o abani jini sika free citizens no in the forms of what? In the forms of taxes. But here is the case, farmer no akwakoto ne banchi or do banchi no akoton bia 10 acres no enya sika ontua any kind of tax into wo a government teacher, wo a nurse, wo a doctor, wo a government worker no na yesua on minor taxes ni nyina dia beku wo so because wo na wodin wo system ni mo. But Boris B fat worker, say Boris B foul as a worker, obetua social security, obetua taxes, and also so employee, you know, obetua taxes, sika no kwa buy mu, o tax we say beko tax we say for no social security beko social security so that snit ebenya sika na abane timi abo besia fi snit na abane timi dia ye impuntu nyuma. You see, this is how the economy works. You touch one aspect, that is direct touch, and indirect touch, you see that a link is so many avenues, and in the end, no, abandon the no. This is complex. So you think deeper. Okay, you think deeper. These are some of the opportunities at Yebeye. And Nuntina Brunino, and no Biana Yefam, Upa Bruni Krumwa, yes, a man for cotti apples, or the apple no, Obi Obefa de Biano. The system knows that what cotti apple because say auditors bow dreaming war now see what your workers car. You have to prove where can I obey a Jumano. The document, the details, the data were hinted or the trial. But in our case, no, se nipa ne ya ono anefu oko go so a you were plethora of farmers. They don't have license. The government, the system doesn't know them. So how do we build a community like that? Into Mr. Rikopoku, Agrika, yes, bi. We don't sit here to pontificate, to throw to people that we are the depository and the repository of all wisdom and knowledge. No, we don't claim to be. But a little idea that I say, we need to formalize and streamline things. And yes, sir, now we still continue to leave our development in the hands of the informal sector. I'm sorry, Mr. President, you will still bask in our economic stupidity. We need to move the people from the informal way of doing things to a more formalized way. And even now, if we cannot hurriedly do that, we can do semi-formal. And in achievements, gradually, we will transit from the semi-formal into the formal sector. We need to deprive a lot of people from going into agriculture so that food production will be fully mechanized. In this time and age, yemfa aso, yemfa kuma, yemfa blantyre, yede infidia anu edin production, because the population of the country is doubling every 2-3 years. And see the second any aso and a I tell you, it will not be appealing to any youth to go into that. Not in some JJ. We have sophisticated machines. If now our local engineers cannot fabricate those machines, we can first of all import. Then we train people. And if people ought to do agric engineering, agric mechanization, they should be given some kind of bonuses to motivate the young ones into that field. Into the only way you take away the motivation. That is how we do it. Why should we live in a country where fan is a kind of Nikonwa was a fool? Was what be a banting, would be a body. Then we tend to blame, say, we foreign among kidney issues. The kidney issues emanating from our own background. All our complex health issues now, they are coming from the food, because how many Ghanaians never sardine? But about 80% of almost the southern belt, almost banchi, almost body. Into can diabetes as someone, you have to look into your carbohydrate source and see what is going on there. And those of us we tend to rubbish people's hard-earned research. No, we have to be very careful. Because yes, sir, ni boom for swap them say, or research we know say problem away. And one important thing, say ye die production of our food in the hands of the informal people. No, maybe so. Yet then na ye tall and mori. Any Gary, obeko open market, no, ni a bieso. I have no problem. But Nibusa say, Gary na waye no, nipa na wote no, we don't have the details, baby, we produce Gary no. We don't know the batch number, the expiry date. A lot of the time, there's this we call aflatoxins. Aflatoxins, any mode, any yet D, ewo Gary mu. Nkrano omu ya wo senior high school senior adini nano. Obi timi the Gary school pantry hono na weevils, na moths, and develop Gary nimu, and we still dash them out to case na omudi. Obi no a better open market, no a big Gary, no a hipu, na obekono was sorry akofa konko bi say olonka. Ne nana ne used to Gary 1885. Ewo Kumasi drum no tibola ho. Sa konko na si ho. That time no blue band margarine konko no mu yusu ye no. Blue band konko no margarine ye nye no tin ni mu biu ebesi ne sa tin da so wo maami akati. Wo dia she Gary ama nipa wi prempe college akọ Harvard nipa na free Harvard asan be do Ghana. Or that's so the sa konko ni she Gary o Ghana ho. And expect walk past these things every blessed day. We don't see anything. As someone maybe you may not really and truly come to terms with the American because I don't care about that. What I care about is going forward. No. Or Ghana standard should import calibrated scale electronic ones and we should have dedicated trainees in our various markets. No, all person will be a shopper and you not a food item, vegetables, what have you. Sa machines no and no what the two 1 kilo and no be convert scan I also tia in cities. Na ye bow shop now ni bi what tomra. These are some of the things that are going forward we have to implement in our systems. Yen to me it's not say near and say at all force and say obey high speed and I say expressway but we need to tackle the basics also so that we would develop holistically, not to the extent that you better car papa but need a piano free alone ka kongo na ye di aflatoxins na Gary no e si ho obebie so otonwa de obedru na edru have na odi rubber chichiri e de be bacteria na akọ Gary mu bacteria be na akọ Gary mu microorganisms be na akọ mu yenim ade betini ato entu bon se uyem etu Gary we pa na wotoye but asemba ho na de ko na emu se sa Gary wura we ni Gary kunwa obeka se enyo no because you don't have that Gary sellers label the production no when they produce ye nim ebeye din but we have to crack the whip Or so my mean say yes say ne dwuma any sika na wanya no any kwan so disi dan ko I know Food and Drugs Authority any Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly Bekase before they allow people to do produce food, no, they have vendor certificate. I have that. But let me tell you, that is not what I'm talking about. Because oko baby a yeti gari e wo poku transport poku sawmill e wo fori krumu a oko gawo for no wa you'll be shocked. Yes, in ya caught now yepsisa enuane de akoje gari, but we cannot do it the same old way, no. Ya besua nyansa. So umame no, it's either say why you ready say obey lifting the life, no. So on lifting life now na e was see collapse in the business, no. Na ye de gari production, no. Edima obi o sika obetimi afa sophisticated machines no dey gari no in a more hygienic way so that obe employ more hands na ebia o ma mini po ebetimi afa na adwuma na bosome so a wotua ne kan ya taxes no. That should be the way we should go. That should be the way we should go. Say yes, start to see a sa afi no obi nkogina kwan ho say okoto dog chains, because you will need to enroll in school system. Uwie school you have farmlands, and I say Ebia Boris B coconut farms or be employed as a Greek extension officer or be employed as a plucker into Okona Kote Kubia agencies were almost super workers and non abrofono ye into bar or smiko agency aquaco peduma adintia farms no and permanent workers war and or some casual workers or by day workers no. I don't know, you don't just walk in. They have given the job to Obinswa, Wako University, and Wako how to do all this economic stuff. Now, on employment into ba, na woko farm or kotikubina. Na ya ti osisi can be near the tria the onso office nansuka. This is how we should create our system. And it's so beautiful. You bet to near ye. Adentia, the bronina or yen, or ye nipa to say ya. Broni no so nipa e dey say ya
sleep ya duane a ye de abre wo no omo packing nuane no guka mu di kofie obi a otie bi anga jem se meboa omo packing nuane no guka adi kofie na say nipa no wo akoto aba no kra no wo twe kofie na wo audi sika hye ne nsam say ono ankonkoto look aduane a ye ma no di wo school secondary school mu ne de chale edin gaga enya se bada fom eti minister asem papa na me no ya na no politicians no mo ka asem ade ama me nhye dam fam serious papa ne say motimi kasa de say de no budget ya wo kan yi oh ene o tie kire
o budget na medical ma prelims ne kakra no ma bobo so kakra de amamu me vision ne beba ena me bobo so ena da hwe uza me ka so me oh yes me hu wo dayem ampa enti me bisa ho questions pass oh wey COVID-19 levy be year VAT no reforms beba expansion of the secondary schools ehyen ewiem shen yeto edi ama mampani aban and afi so Ghana forces there no ni nyina me hu kan oh bana budget in the mu ode according to nya working kan here me so me
according to the vision vision
nya yemi no ya ken kan
Ebusha for ya ye betumi aye na nchepi no me be kan Akufo-Addo criminality stuff bi ho asem say yem for Akufo-Addo court you know and who say the money is not coming, and so me need time, and I've realized say scan mama check it balance needing star one how much checking say maybe hold on star 170 I think so I'm checking up maybe I did say before and yes sir Yes, I don't check it, balance no. Star 170. And I have star 150. Star 150. That's the invalid MMI. Momo no check your account is a balance no. You should star 1. Okay, 17. Thank you. 170 hash. Oh. The last time I checked it, 21,000. Yes, almost say 20. Yeah, 21,000 so far. And yenya. Intimate 2 money mean to me for me. I'm paying. I think say yenko pay like rural community be a light war and granisian ITB. Nank yenfanto computers near day. And come laptops and yenfanto laptops. I think say 21,000 a bit me out of laptops be a base 5 b. A bit me out of laptops 5 be a okra. I think say okra 20. One comment 21,000 cities I say in dollars. 21,000 cities in dollars, you say. Minko Revolut and as a Lemfi. Okay, SC converter. XC converter 21,000. 21,000. So 21,000 will be 1,914. 914.3. Therefore, say $1,900. $1,900. Until you divide $1,900 by 5, near idea. I mean, here say calculator $1,900 divided by 5. So I think Ukra $380. Oh, you madam for you China wait me. You will be or China wait me anya brand new laptop. Yes, student level will be at elementary level. $300 we should be able to get. I hope amount for Bibri Wasi. Amount for Bibri Wasi. Indeed, like $1,900 no. A bit media to brand new laptops and even a beer. I don't want to deal with second hand because what they are there comorbidity was saying munyamse. Inti China the wait me China the it's possible. And yes say inferior so good stuff. Wait me a very good machine. Inti nya best 5 of the laptops na ebet me dia call krabia sia. Omo bet me yusu e dia chem kra na ere. Ade dan so be kwa draw. And say you're buying responsibility. These are the things, but a day because now I don't have time. It is a kufuadu. Abokrono na se mo betra Ghana na mbe China. It's up to you. The trans and I'm doing and I'm saying, no, why should people even contribute and then yen fan kwe abra abino get taxes? No. In the first canon conquer charity. You bet me up to computers that come on baby's home and grano mamino papa we can donate. And one thing last time I call Ghana, I went to Mampon baby's home. One thing I've realized and say, a bempi no ye and kudani mum adoye. But the real fi say workers ne so ni wa and granny no. And until I may say a nice video be or ye about Accra children's home one, I never supported that particular because say almost sneaky and me and your money be ankotonwa. Workers need to here sika also take care of themselves. And then your money be also ubon say that enchana be expire. Obia the drinks e ko, obia the sugar e ko, obia the rice e ko. But my men we're devoting time most of the time. A man that walk me call Mampom's baby, Mampom baby's home, you say, So, Lady Bakwa, me call to know her friends, Lydia, I've forgotten the name. Me call that time, me call purposely say, a workers into me said that corner, me call check fiscal cash, the man call for him because a parent, caretakers, no, almost so here. Remuneration a bit motivating warm. What you see? And sometimes no say a baby's home and children's home na adoya. We should also consider workers no. You can even go there. So many workers 220 and 30 grand or na so bia in a bia Christmas bebe no ubenya bia be 200 be grand dey emma wo mo eye motivation say omonji no mo so fan ko e bibi me in fact say me koto mo dia kocha mo because I may not know say sama I mean or mo bibli wo fie. Most of the time me call children's home no I give them fiscal cash say omo ho no omo discount they also deserve so be because a juma na omo ti ho ye no a devotion. Let the catch and say omo devote to omo time say omo an ba ho at free will. Me say one time 2014 me course mates been a call on there. You call in you say say na situation is here. Especially my baby's home on. Na me who say dem and bruni bi aba or this solar panel egu omo dinosaur ama omo nam say yet wa ma brofi e bedi insira na omo de call. It is our responsibility to make sure say you share the destitute and the marginalized in society. And you'll be a responsibility or might be anything Brunino will take good care of Sanko for because Sanko for no only a dream only be or support no into our resources no or support no obi beka say na say bia onso wo unia bi wo unia no wo abusuam ono de waye na adwe so oye kwadwofo into me first can ma wo ye mi nua na wo tifi na wo say adwen no wo a wo ma me nyaa unia bia nyaa obi ampo ba wo de waye wa adwen so oye kwadwofo a wan sidi kura me mfama but the ye ka wo no wo no de omo ye marginalized get back on 16 years so ko wo Mampong hospital ho and owu ye and a boy no ne wo ye ne situation no and no dwane ye and akra ne so mu yi no akra na ye ketekete se kotre na me call ye na Anglican and offense bishop and I said pastor was obia woman na no hwe caretaker no and I say omo over robots no na all can say ye ba ha say ni pa ni behu de wi na abofran city a anka obia be ka chese ye nkoto akra no ntuntwene and so o ma hwe ni kakra ma edu say no and sometimes in bronya ebe no so wo abrochi na obekọ Ghana all the care and friends say children's home ni ade no so ultimate visit wo mo a this time go purposely say o kosra o mo a o mo hwe nkoda no because o mo so asetene mu edin ankasa o mo asetene mu no edin to ho ache adwuma no mo ye e wo se nkoman no na bobo saka no unim se nkofo mo abrochi o mo ye se adwuma we mu na no benefit a o mo di so eno na ama broni krom de bia ideas bo nature koso hira o mo because there are certain natural principles bi o broni o ma ne nse pom fa ne nse se a person in a beautiful community sa nyoma we na wo se consider enti mesiamo I think say I have to for the first time this say what person of free let me give be a nipa wa contribute nya wa one contribute I want to metre the first category minia ekufu kwabna ekufu me kai odin wo na wo start year donation in say kwabna ekufu say o hwe mi a ba bia wo hwe mi bia no I me throw odin o number ne to but unfortunately me lose sa paper no Mr. Antiquam ba bia wo hwe mi bia say wo friend sisi a e wo 02402582 WhatsApp line so wo friend sisi a now che say yem first can go yisi a ye de be kwa koye ekufu ado de attorney general and responsibility o make sure so be kwa koche no so be clear now it's up to them Antiquam ekufu Mr. ba bia wo bia no ene wo bia donate ye Priscilla Cook ene Priscilla any more modernity and more you can give your opinion on that. Now for you say computers na was here kotwa media me hu say into computers betimi am obi to be or China bia roughly bia December na say January no e betimi ready na yakwa e dia kwa koma a friend is a village a bia me mfa nko bi krum nti pa kwa me kufu wo che say yemfa nko ekura bi ase a ope a yebeko say ukrum krom so ye Ghana for nti no anase se laptops no ye beto near the akoma mampon baby's home fine yemfanko yenko because I said Accra ni Kumasi children's home no omudi adodode any more say omo sese other districts no ye do bi biase nti number ni 0240258269 o pese o free a o betimi afre sisi a na watch
Ayo hu ni vision num ne.
Ena me kan ye be.
Gaga be kunipa. Gaga o gaga. Mo be ya ni say mo be kan de o kan sabre na sa o te wa. O te wa si budget di mo de. Na dru ba bia e be implement no a e ho na asem no wo no.
Ebusu afa be bua. Ade ka je atum za budget ni mo de.
Oh, da bi o. Me de my vision. So me de my vision. Me say no as o tie say no si kan no ya.
Budget ni ye. Na mu.
Peace FM.
But Gaga.
Erita.
Nyame say enka no kre pa kire Ghana benefo. Senior high schools. Biane ankwala ndi sabre na nyewu.
Enyewu.
Enyenyenyenyenye. Obia obawo senior high school bia mesrew. Sa akwala no frɛ wo ka kyerɛ wo sɛ na aduane asa emfa ne sɛ akwala ne de aduane no bɔ ahohibra emfa ne sa because hwɛ emkwala ne aduane omudi no mummisa nkwala ne sɛ when was the last time omudi kosua e wo school mu
ba na minim sɛ ye hyehyɛ na ye sɛ mo balance diet
gaga
nutrition
bisa nkwala ne sɛ when was the last time omudi di we
Obi say me fa number no number ne 0240258269 and number na crowd when you fam me get me me e dey ato ho no ma where is the number? Into your WhatsApp number no. And number ne da hono into be all the +2 wa man be shawo. Me pese ofre nipa ba ko mienu bi ama contribute to a kufado criminality no. Mon che mo adwen. Yentimi mfa yenkwan ya adwen mfa nye adwuma. Nti che wa adwen sisi a me shemo. I just want to hear from nipa one or two. Wa wo hwe me bia me shemo. Wo hase afre. Say number ne da hono. MTN.
E school mu.
Kaba.
Aduane aye de man kwada no. Enya asam kitwa wo. Hwe, enema bi wo ho aho. Politicians no. Aya mo nsua bibi kakra mfiri ho. Hwe system bi a bibini na aye no. Obenya problem wo ho. System a bibini na aye e de aba. Bibini be na dwen se obedi di ho. Enti bafa yi sei nanka ya de papa
sikana ba o pa sem say akokọ buo eye $1.86 ewo US and now catch them say e trabochi sebi me passport me him na no improve about 48 makos US UK Holland Germany Norway Switzerland South Africa na me investigate for almost 30 years in back Ghana investigating into the poultry industry all because of the vision and the prophecy. You are telling me, say, you're saying 186. It's not possible. So that tells you, say, Angel. Angel. Yeah? There are two things. Either, say, undercutting in a way. And now say they're not bringing us the right quality. I know my car won't see a sale be but we should be saving lives.
Of course.
I don't see the reason why we have quality chicken. The president of the republic, the first gentleman of the land, inspecting himself or share one in 7. Quality clean. Wajibi. And now I'm saying grilly ni convoy, they go for you. Be so happy. Memenda. Mami be a ye. Say Oswami. Mami Monica be. Ye grille almost Saturday and Sunday. Ali ube yenasia. Can be here.
Menshia him yes nam kwaji udi.
Yes.
What left and right.
Mama the other TNT no your home. As Krofua Ecopesu Jumaye.
Inianum, me say Obia and Freddy are any akramo, your best sensia, and that for a friend is saying, have a very beautiful weekend, and then we'll see you maybe, possibly tomorrow. Bye bye, Yakro Bibia.
If the governments give us the chance and give us the capital to run the industry very well, we can employ 1 million people. I'm serious. I'm speaking on authority with all the mathematics straight in my books. And President Mahama Ekasano, or Prime Minister, or Minister, tell the Education Minister straight. Or does the CM far way and school feeding program? Now, because school feeding program, ABI local productions, so they are very expensive. Yes, it should be expensive because that is the state of our land. But this is where we find ourselves. When we are bettering the economy, see a economy here. Let's see you produce Ghana. Let's see you win Ghana. Let's say, when production and consumption is gotten locally, that is where we are bettering the GDP, of course, helping the economy. Angel. Sankita Hudina Yedino. And you see, Yedia young wow, Yedia poultry farmers of Ghana. Na answer Nebeko Yenimino. Oman Peniso the domestic ashas. Thank you, Mr. President. I clap for you for that. But the next step is the farm to table. 50 anchor farmers with 80,000 birds. Now, see, 50 anchor farmers. Now, say, it's me 4 million a year. Here we are. It's over big. What are you talking about? It's even an IMF requirement for us to improve on the agriculture sector. So that is what we have to embark on. Yeah, when it comes to poultry, we know what we are talking about.
Blair.
And then we know, say, and no, bet me a bois. That's say, and go 3 million. That's say, estimatedly, or say as a 200 million bois. And they declare say, Jumanwa. Ali, that's say, or Bampany say, they imported over $400 million. I say, close to $400 million. And I borrow his words. I said, this we all must be ashamed of ourselves. See a new war. See a traho. Then crack or pet soldier. No more woo. What else am I making us say? Because a Jumano ayading. It is a man paying the baby stuff for baby come. Ne be a portrait musada. See if I found crowd. I'm a webby. I know near can wasm. And that is why me manage who too much say. As a businessman, resetting Ghana on different levels. Dankambari. Vision way, who can't be? Gaprop, who can't hold a what you mean? A years back. Maybe I'm inquiring, you may be out. Like no one, I mean, now will be a dedicated life for you now for poetry. What was all you say? What was all can I say?
Only me away.
My whole life. If you Cambridge, Coffee Prep College, they call Germany.
I know how many years.
How many years? I'm the buy. Now for be a doctor, be a and never saw about doctor.
So a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
I'm doctor.
Ali, that we call lab. Some people call it Wednesday.